Hello, this is Spring, and I am in the midst of doing my very first public art project. So I thought it would be good to make a video about some of the things that I have learned so far in doing my first public art project, and maybe some things that you can learn um, that might be helpful to you. So first, I have some glare here. I'll just take my glasses off. So the first thing is that you want to make sure that you have your goals clear, and the messaging clear. And what I mean by that is that whoever is going to be paying you, or who is in charge of making sure that the project goes all the way through, uh, ask them what is important to them in this project. What is it that they're trying to accomplish with the messaging? And that's going to help you to understand what your goal is going to be in the creation of the artwork. But before that, I want to explain that public art projects are usually projects that are funded by a local arts council, or by a school, whoever is funding the school. If it's a private school, that would be different than um, a public school. But whatever the case may be, they have monies set aside for specifically for the arts. They have monies set aside specifically for beautification of the community. They may have a committee set up for this. So if you look on your local arts council website, you may see that they award grants each year. And artists do get awarded these grants and are able to do these projects. They receive a lump sum, and usually it's in installments. Perhaps the first installment is at the beginning of the project, and the last installment is at the end of the project. Sometimes you will get everything all up front, but whatever the case is, you are going to have to manage your funds. So going back to the goals, it's important for you to understand what the goal is for this project, so that you can meet um, the requirements, so that everyone feels good about what you did, because it actually accomplished the purpose that they asked. So um, the next thing is that you want to make sure, is there anything that they don't want you to do? A lot of times we think about what people want, but what don't they want? That's really important, because if there are things that they don't want, you don't want to do those things, obviously. And having those parameters helps you to plan your project. You know exactly what to avoid. And as artists, we are creative, and a lot of times we can kind of go in all different directions. Many of us can work with all different kinds of media, whatever, and so we need those parameters in order to work effectively. So ask for them. And, you can just specifically ask, what are your goals for this project? And are there any things that you would like for me to avoid? For my particular project, I was told to avoid drawing or painting any faces onto the surface, because, well, that's what they asked. And, you know, um, that's what I'm going to do. So, um, anyway, also you want to find out, are there any time requirements? For example, is there a festival coming up? Is there some other kind of event that they want to have this project finished by? Don't assume that they will tell you, because they may be assuming that you already know. And this is because an artist's job is very different from the job of this person, whoever is in charge of the project. So they may be making assumptions, and you may be making assumptions. So it's good to communicate these things and find out, is there anything coming up that you would like me to have this done by, or what's the timeline? What are you looking at? Okay, so you also want to make sure, I'm looking at my notes, you also want to make sure that you write down your ideas. A lot of times we can get to a blank canvas or a blank any kind of blank surface or whatever, or the space, and we just go crazy. And so, well, at least I do. I do. So you want to make sure that you have the things written down, because it will help you to, and this includes sketching or whatever things that mock-ups that you want to do in software, whatever tools that you use. My eye is twitching. Make sure that you do those things ahead of time. And also, when you do those sketches, make sure you go back to those ideas or go back to those goals and the messaging, go back to the things that they want you to accomplish, the things they want you to avoid. Have all of that in mind, even like colors. Um, are there particular colors or is there a mood? You know, this would go back to your messaging. And of course, colors have moods, so you want to keep that in mind as well. Like, I'm going to use cool colors versus warm or whatever. Um, Also, you want to gather resources. This is all before you even start the project. Gather your resources and price things. Look at what you're trying to accomplish and try to figure out what specific resources do you need to accomplish this from the start of the project all the way until the finish. That way you do not just spend money and at the end, you realize I didn't make any money because I spent all my money on art supplies, and this can very easily happen. So sometimes your resource may be other people, and you may have to pay another person who's an expert in a certain field. You have to figure that out in your budget ahead of time. Uh, and finally, you want to make a schedule. So make a schedule for the times that you're going to be working on the project, because this can easily eat up your time. And also, there may be other limitations as to the location, how easy it is to get to, if you have access to it. So you want to make a schedule for this so that you can actually make sure that you complete it on time. So I hope that this was helpful to you all. These are the things that I've learned in working on a public art project, and there's still a whole lot that I have to learn, and I would love to hear in the comments some suggestions. I'm still working on this project. We're almost done, and I hope to do a lot more. I realize that I enjoy working on, something that I know that is going to be in the community. So it's really cool. And so hope this was helpful. And if you like videos like this, if you like to see an artist's journey and other tips for artists, like as far as doing public art projects or just living the artist life, like how we can really succeed in doing this as a job, then go ahead and follow. Have a great day.